Okay, everybody, I'm so excited today because I am joined with the cast of Not Without Hope, which is in theaters Friday. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Hey,
Thank you,
good
Steve.
to
How you
see
doing?
you. Thank you.
Doing good. I'm excited. I'm glad you guys can see I'm wearing a hat. I think somebody thought it was my hair at first, which is great. So, my first question is for Zachary. When you first met with Nick in real life, the character you play, what was the one thing that really stood out to you that you're like, okay, I want to make sure I get this right in my portrayal?
Well, I first met him over the phone. I had a couple of phone calls with him and just got to pick his brain and his heart and try to understand as best I could what he was experiencing in that time, which was difficult for him to access. It's a very traumatic experience. And even though he was able to kind of jot it all down in the book, years now later, almost, I mean, gosh, 17, I think, years later now, um, 16 at the time of filming this movie. I mean, it was hard for him to access some of it. Um, but I think one of the biggest things I took from it was his stoicism. He's a very like just he's not a very expressive person. And as I am quite an expressive person, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't bringing too much Zach into that, but rather, keeping it in his more stoic Nick isms, and continuing to just honor the story and honor these other gentlemen who, unfortunately, succumbed to that hypothermia and weren't able to be a part of us now opening this film. That's the most important thing, and I think we got Nick's stamp of approval, so I'm really grateful for that.
Oh, that's good. You got the approval. And yeah, I love that you mentioned the stoicism. You definitely show that in the performance. Really, really cool. And Quentin, you're playing Marquise Cooper in this film, someone who's unfortunately not with us anymore. But where did you start then in your research to kind of make sure you got the best representation of Marquise you could?
Yeah, when it came across, it was just the audition process. So I think first you kind of look at the book itself, the source material, and then just do as much research as I could. Online research, research him, his athletic background, found some things online. I think a group of his high school teammates. There was a video out there of them talking about him. I think they were wishing him, best of luck at Washington because he had just signed out of high school to play football at Washington. And find that, and then just see what I could of, him online, as him in the NFL and stuff like that. It's a bit earlier. It's not now where I think everybody has their entire life online in some sense. This was kind of the early 2000s where I think it was just the beginning of that. So there wasn't as much that you could find. But I personally have a real connection with people who have lived a similar lifestyle. I played football in college at a really, a Division I university that put a good amount of people into the NFL, and particularly a good amount of people in that kind of undrafted free agency, bouncing around and looking for training camps type of lifestyle. So I know what that looks like. I know the hunger that those men have to make the next team, and get the next contract and be able to feed their family, all those things. So I just really wanted to bring that aspect to it. I knew the story that we were telling was on the water and was um, that herring side, but I really wanted to bring as much as I could all of the life that Marquise had, not just this one moment. I wanted to feel um like I hope he felt in real life. I know he was just about to try to make, I believe, the Raiders again at that time and moving. And I don't know. I know what that stress of not exactly knowing where your next step is, not exactly knowing where that next check is, when you have a family to provide for. I know what that looks like, and I wanted to bring that to life along with the story. When obviously they get out on the water.
That's incredible. I didn't know you played football. That's great. And it's cool that you brought some of your own experience from that into this character of Marquise.
Yeah,
It's
for
so
sure.
good. Really good. Honored for sure. Um, Terrence, there's such high level intensity in this role, and you're being rocked and drenched in water. And I remember that show on Netflix recently you were in. It was so intense, the stuff you're doing there. So,
Oh.
Was this the most physical challenging role though to date?
Yeah, yeah. You're talking about Obliterate. Obliterate was funny. I thought Obliterate was the craziest with the whole helicopter thing, hanging out of it and stuff. That was one thing, like, but because you can see, I can see the ground, but this was a whole nother gangster. Um, it was scary. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared every night. Thank God I was already on beta blockers. Because I didn't know that Black people get anxiety after my life that I've been through. So before we started this, I started to take beta blockers for anxiety or whatever. And thank God, because it was scary. The water machines, the tanks, everything was just, terrifying. Then you got to imagine, like, these are really great actors, right? So even though you're in your head acting and saying, oh my God, this isn't real, you'll look up and you see Marshall and he's in his zone and he looks fearful. So then your body's like, no, it's real, it's real. But you're like, no, it's not real. Then you look at Zach and you'll see Quentin freezing. And it's a whole mind play where you have to still stay in character, know that's okay. And then it was so loud that we couldn't hear each other's lines sometimes. So then you have to watch and pay attention. But then it was a lot going on. So Obliterate was like a play at the merry-go-round compared to this. This was a whole nother world. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, and it's interesting. It sounded like some of it wasn't even acting, so it makes me want
Oh,
to rewatch it.
yeah.
Um, Marshall, did any of your outlook change on life after doing a powerful story like this?
It's definitely a good reminder of just how precious life is and how easily you can get caught in a bad situation. So, yeah, I mean, and after watching the movie, just because we have the scenes we shoot during the day, but then just seeing it all put together on the big screen and just all the really emotional performances from everybody. The guys here, but also Floriana, Joe Beth, Jessica. I mean, they all brought me to tears, and I know them, and I know what they're going to do. But man, it just really rocked me. So yeah, just to really appreciate life and to tell people that you love them, and not walk around in fear necessarily, but just, maybe you never see somebody again. So just tell them how you feel about them.
No, that's a great lesson, and I'm hoping when people see this film, they're going to feel those powerful things too, which I think they definitely will. My last question, Zachary, if someone is eventually to play you in a role about the movie of your life, who would you want to play you?
Oh, wow. Michael B. Jordan? No, I don't know, man. I don't know. Timothy Chalamet. I feel like he plays everything anyway, and he does it so well.
All right.
And
He would do a great Zach.
I feel like you do a good Zach.
Yeah.
He's who came to my mind.
Who's that?
I said he is who came to my mind when I
Oh, there you
said
go. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. So the Chalamet. I'll take the Chalamet.
I love it. That's a great answer. Everybody, watch See Not Without Hope in theaters Friday. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope to talk to you all in the future one day. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Steve.
Steve.
Thank you so much, Steve.